What I've come to realize as I became more conscious of my way of thinking and my way of being is that I was always running on thought loops, and thought loops that were never really conducive to my aligned dreams or goals. I never realized how much I would find myself overthinking, and not just like, so many things all at once. It would just be one thought loop that would go over and over and over again, not realizing that it was, eventually leading me to behave a certain way, right? And what I've come to learn along my journey was ways of stopping and breaking those negative thought patterns, those thought loops. And a lot of my clients that I work with and friends would always ask me is, how do I stop thinking in such a negative way? Or how do I just stop overthinking and feeding into this thought loop? And at the time, before I didn't know. I just didn't know. I thought I would distract myself and do things or watch TV or just really just distract myself from the thought patterns that were coming up. And shit, I wish I knew this when I was younger, and now I'm very conscious and aware of. And that is, I can break those thought patterns. And I started to learn more about that. I took a subconscious mind and meditation certification course a couple years back. Not maybe 4 years back, actually. No, wait. 5 years back, right? And then I began to learn more and more about the subconscious mind and understanding what limiting beliefs were, where they came from, where is it stored in the body. And the thought loops were a constant thing with my client, right? They were asking me, how do I stop this negative thinking? How do I stop spiraling? And along my own journey and my own practice, I've been becoming more aware of these thought patterns that were coming up. Right? Before I didn't know, I would just distract myself. And now I knew. I would notice the trigger that would come up, right? Notice the trigger. And then what was the story that was playing? What were the thought patterns that were going on and on and on? Right? I became aware of that. I became aware of the story. Then I took a moment to just stop, pause, period. Just be, period, right? I gave myself a moment. I came back to the breath. I slowed my breath down. I calmed my nervous system down because I realized that thought patterns were keeping myself stuck in a fight or flight mode, scanning for danger. Oh, what the fuck is going to happen? Or who's going to think of me in a certain way? Or just like all these thoughts. Oh, I'm never going to get it right. Oh, I'm not going to do this. Am I going to make it on time? Am I going to finish this project? All these thoughts were coming up. But I would stop that, and I would pause, and I would slow my breath down. And then in that stillness, when I calmed the mind and I calmed the body down, my nervous system was regulated, I then began to shift that narrative to something that was much more aligned, right? That I am here, I'm present. I'm becoming aware of the stories that are coming up. That is not me. That's an old program that's coming up. And I'm grateful for the awareness of it. But that is not my story. My aligned story is that I am grounded and I am present and I'm here. I'm here. Nowhere else. Nothing is hurting me. No one is coming to get me. I don't need to get anything done right now in this very moment. I'm alive, I'm well. I would start to say these little things that felt right within my body, that felt true within my body. My nervous system registered that. And then lo and behold, my actions started to align with those new way of thinking, with the new affirmations that I was saying, that was felt within my body. My body felt it, so it began to take more goal-oriented, aligned actions. And then I noticed that the thought patterns that I was subscribing to without even knowing became less dominant. And what's happening within my mind and my brain as I become so calm and grounded with the awareness of that trigger and the negative thought pattern coming up, when I become in such a state of presence, of peace, of calm, just for a moment, as I reshift the narrative, change the story, break the thought pattern, stop the thought loop, right? I begin to utilize the benefits of neuroplasticity, allowing new neurons to fire within my brain, and allowing the old neurons of that thought pattern to become, again, less dominant. So I no longer feed into this negative thought loop that used to play on and on and on. And I did that almost every day. This is a practice. This is a practice that you want to do on every day. Every day. It's just when you notice yourself thinking and overthinking and spiraling in this same story, take a moment to pause and stop. Become aware of, yes, I'm experiencing this thought. I'm experiencing this loop. I'm going around in circles. And as you begin to voice that or bring to mind that you're aware of that, then you stop and you breathe still for a moment. You slow the breath down, right? You do a down-regulated breath, a longer exhale and a shorter, faster inhale. And you do that for about 6 times. And then right then and there, your nervous system is regulated. It's calmer than it was before. And now from that point, you can go ahead and rewrite that narrative, that story. And shifting it. So that your nervous system can feel it. And that your body, your next thoughts, your next inspired action comes from this aligned action, this aligned thinking to your dreams and your goals. And this is very important. So if you find yourself in your mind, you're like, blah, 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 yeah, oh, shit, okay, well, and you get into your car and you're like, oh, all right, you're feeling uneasy, you're feeling anxious, doubt, insecure. Stop. Take a moment. Stop. Become aware of the thoughts that are coming up. And then you stop and you breathe for a minute. For a minute, it's about 5 to 6 breaths. Super slow. And then you rewrite that narrative from that calm, grounded state. And then you go ahead and allow your body, and allow the neuroplasticity, allowing it to just do its thing. So, I trust that landed for you guys. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. And yeah, I just love fucking speaking in front of camera just like this. Like this is my conversations when I meet people and we dive into things like this. Like I love this stuff. I love it. And I'm glad that I get to share this on YouTube. I get to share this with you guys so that you guys can get a piece of my mind of how I think and I process my thoughts and my emotions, how I become self-regulated, and also how I help my clients, my friends, my family to navigate their own internal battles. So thank you. If you love this, if you enjoy this, share this, like this, drop a comment. Let me know if this is gold or if this is something that you're willing to dive into. And I'm here. I got you. Thank you. Appreciate you. And I'll see you guys soon. Peace.